I got another joke for you. You know, Poindexter loves jokes. If you got a good joke, send it to me, and I might tell it to somebody else, and I'll give you credit for it. Maybe. Yeah, I'll give you credit for it if it's a good joke. If it's a bad joke, I surely will give you credit for it. But here's one for you. There's these two cannibals, and they're out in the jungle, you know, wherever cannibals live. And one of these cannibals says, "Hey, Ralph," that's a funny name for a cannibal. "Hey, Ralph, you want to come over to the house for dinner tonight?" And Ralph says, "What are you having?" He says, "We're having stew." He says, "Is it your mama's recipe? I love your mama's recipe for stew. That's the best stew in the world." And he says, "Yeah, it is. So you gonna come over or not, Ralph?" And Ralph says, "Well, you know, if it's your mama's stew, I can't turn that down." So later that night, they all get together for dinner. And they're sitting there at the table, and Ralph says, "Lord, this stew just don't taste right." I don't know now. I ain't know what a cannibal stew would taste like, but I guess Ralph would know because he's a cannibal. And he said, "I just don't think it's right. Are you sure you followed your mama's recipe correctly?" And the other cannibal, his name's Steve. Steve says, "Yeah, I did." He says, "I've got the produce was fresh this morning. Dug the potatoes up out of the ground, fresh carrots and all that." And then Ralph said, "Well, what about the man? Was the man fresh?" And Steve says, "Well, of course it's fresh. I ain't gonna use no old man for my stew." He says, "I went up to the monastery this morning and got him myself." And then Ralph says, "Well, heck, no wonder. Them guys up at the monastery, those guys, they're friars."